Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I am Gary, your host. This is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. This time, well, I'm going to have another look at some Jungle Girl comics. I'd done that once before, just a few weeks ago. And while I was out in the garage looking for something else, I came across another little batch of Jungle Girl comics that are out of place, and now I'll be putting them with my other Jungle comics. And and my Tarzan and the like. And started off here with this in the 80s. AC Comics started doing a lot of reprinting material that was had gone into public domain. Some of the old Golden Age superheroes, the Jungle, some of this Jungle Girl stuff, and something is biting my ankle. Must be a mosquito. And what was that? Oh, and classic westerns and the like, and I've showed primarily on the other some Jungle Girl comics reprinting that stuff. Unlike Jambo Comics, I can't afford to buy the original issues, and Jambo. Jambo Comics. He really shows a lot of cool old comics, especially Jungle comics, and most especially the ones featuring the good girl art in various Jungle Girl comics. And this first one here is AC Comics #1, Savage Jungle Beauty Cave Girl Special Limited Edition. And this features artwork by Bob Powell. You can see here the recreation here. There's the original cover that this cover is taken from, and here it shows you some example. And it starts off with a story showing her origin. And I don't know why they really call her Cave Girl, other than the fact that she grew up. She was lost in the jungle as a girl and raised by animals, and grew up in some kind of lost valley that had some 8 men and stuff. Then there's a feature section here of articles, an article about Cave Girl, and then a follow-up story, and then after that is an article about the movie When Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth, with some cool black and white photographs featuring the cast, which is just filled with, what else? Cave girls. yeah. Let's see, I had some more back here, and on the back cover. That's nice. Now, I showed you the other time. I showed you this issue. This was from 1984. The comic adaptation of the movie of Sheena, and I just dug it out because it goes along with the other one that I found. I knew I had it, issue #2 of Sheena, and I also have the large magazine-sized reprint with the whole thing all in one, someplace. I have to find that. And of course it has the great Gray Morrow art, and Gray Morrow, he did so many things. It's just such a lovely artwork, so realistic. And remember, he did Buck Rogers comic strip for a time, and he did his Tarzan comic strip for a short time, and so this kind of stuff, realistic stuff, is right up his alley. And then here we have Jerry Iger's Sheena, Queen of the Jungle 3D. This was from the 80s, mid 80s. I can't remember what year this was published, but probably 88. With this Dave Stevens cover, some beautiful stuff, and you can see the Jerry Iger interior art. Of course, it's all in black and white. Not just black and white, but 3D, so you can't see it very well. It even has a short story in the middle of Jojo Congo King, and a two-page humorous strip of Snarzan the Ape, of some monkeys. You can't see that very well. And then here, this was published at the same time. This is 72 pages of Jerry Iger's classic Sheena #1. It's collector's edition. And this was what, Blackthorn? Yeah, Blackthorn. Both were from Blackthorn. So here you can see, and it has an introduction by Jerry Iger himself when he was still around, and he was. And apparently Sheena, he started Sheena in 37. So she was around quite a while. And of course Sheena had the TV series in the 50s, and then a revival series in the 90s, which I have on DVD, but I haven't watched it. I remember watching it. It's a beautiful good girl art for the time. Some racially insensitive stuff too, but which just goes along with the time, and some some overall very nice artwork. And see that 3D is right here, advertised in Sheena. And this isn't exactly a Jungle Girl, but I always keep it in with my Jungle comics. Lois Lane, Superman's Girlfriend, number 124 from I think it said 1972, and that's because while Superman is trapped and kind of depowered, because he's susceptible to magic, and it is some kind of jungle magic that is employed on him, and also employed on Lois Lane into thinking she is a jungle girl, and it is her job to kill Superman. This is a real rough copy. I bought this one 50 years ago, and I've kept it all this time. Lois Lane battles the Hunters. The cover is detached. It's in really, really rough shape. And you see, because right here, what the heck? Jungle Man. Lois Lane. And eventually she is changed into, magically becomes a jungle girl. And has a fight with this Jungle Man to say she winds up saving Superman. And this last thing is not a comic book at all, but this is the Betty Pages in the 80s. What year was this? I forgot to look beforehand. This is all about special Jungle Girl issue, and has a lot of photographs of Betty Page as a jungle girl and other stuff, so I can't show the interior of that stuff just because there's so much nudity. That's back here. Yeah, so much nudity. This is Betty Page's number 5, but it does have, I got to get that away, stuff that I can show you here is an interior article about jungle girls in both comics and in movies, with a lot of drawings and photographs from Nyoka and some Tarzan movies, and then some stuff about Sheena. And then these are, here we go. These are some pictures that I can actually show you of Betty Page as a jungle girl, and some very nice strong, and so many famous pictures. And I think that's about all I can actually show you. Yep, that's the last of the stuff that I can show you of Betty Page, from the pages of the Betty Pages. And so I want to thank you all for joining me. That's a fun little trip into the wilds of the jungles with these savage beauties. Thank you for joining me. Please like, share, subscribe, and do leave a comment. Do you like these books? Do you like the Jungle Girls and the Cave Girls and the stuff? And how about that great Dave Stevens cover? That is just marvelous. Too bad he died so young. And that is it. And remember, people, comics are art.